I cannot afford an assistant. I do make good money, but there's so many expenses. That's what I got from one of my coaching clients the other day. But the truth is, you cannot afford to not to hire an assistant for the admin or for the marketing. And that is the truth for a small business owner, and also the self-employed. The reason behind a lot of time, the self-employed or the small business owners, they are especially self-employed, because when you have a small business, you already have a structure. But the self-employed, if you're a self-employed, listen me very carefully, because the reason we are skeptical to hire an assistant is because we already did it before. Because when you start a business and when you are self-employed, what happens? You do everything. You are like 10 hats. You are the salesperson, you are the manager, you are the admin, you're doing all the paperwork, you're doing marketing, you're designing your postcard, you're doing your social media post and everything. So what happened? And certain things you do very good. You're comfortable to do that, and then business grow. And then what happens here? You lose consistency because there's just so much time in the day. But you are skeptical to hire an assistant because you think like the assistant will be so expensive, and you think like that's a payment you are doing. But reality is, an assistant is a return on investment for you. An assistant can make your time more valuable. Not only one, down the road, you're going to have probably 3, 4, 5, 10 assistants as your business grow. But initially, it's very hard. And I'm going to give you in this video a full strategy. First of all, from thinking, why do you need to hire an assistant? Then the strategy, how to hire the best assistant. And then from there, how to grow from one assistant to 2 to 3 to 4 to 10 or more. And that's what I'm going to give you right now as a coach. And it's not only my business. I had the same problem at the beginning, years back when I hired my first assistant. But then, I learned also. Plus, I coach. So I have many coaching clients. They come as a solo real estate agent. And then, after a year, after 2 years, they already have a team with all the, team members, bits and pieces together, and they're growing. And that's what I want to give you, that strategy. And, if you feel this is important, if you feel this is valuable, please make a comment. I always love to know your opinion. Okay. Now let's step back. Let's see, the thinking like, okay, I cannot afford, so I have to pay a salary, I have to cut a check. And what is the guarantee that I'll ever get that money back? Okay, so that's the thought. Now the other side is the way you from that thought to you go from hiring an assistant is that what I'll suggest you to do. Definitely, you probably following a calendar, whatever kind of calendar. If you're not 100%, my suggestion is follow a calendar, because you don't want your time to just flow by without notifying you where the time is going. So Google Calendar is my favorite time block. And so even if you don't have a plan from before and things go a different way, do that after. At the end of the day, just go back and see, okay, 9 to 10 I did this, 10 to 11 I did this. So that's the way. After a week, you can come back and see what happened last week, and then you can analyze that, and you can use that for whatever best for you. The reason for time blocking is you do that for a week. When you come back and you see, okay, how many hours you put for the admin work. For example, suppose you even spent say 8 to 10 hours. Okay, 8 to 10 hours for all kind of marketing and admin hours. Okay, say 10 hours to make it a little bit more specific. Now, any small business, especially in the US, people are making $100,000, $150,000, $200,000. That's kind of like a good self-employment income, for you to be good. Now, if you're making $100,000, and for example, if you're making $50 an hour, okay, that's the easy, because you work 2,000 hours a week, 8 hours a day, and then so you divide $100,000. Okay, $50 an hour. Now 10 hours is $500 a week. So you used your $500 a week for doing that admin work. Now If you hired a virtual assistant at the beginning, okay, and you pay whatever $500-600, you can hire somebody part time at the beginning. Also, we'll go through a little bit details later on. But if you have somebody taking care of that, and then you get out there, and that 10 hours, if you do 5 appointments, 2 hours, 2 hours each, like a drive time, and so if you do network or whatever, what do you think the kind of business you can bring in? That 10 hours only. I'm not talking about any extra hours. If you do networking, if you meet with your client, if you make some hot calls, like warm calls to your clients or sphere of influence, how much business can you bring? And that is the money you are losing, because on that 10 hours you're doing admin work, but you are not doing your sales specialty, what brings the revenue to the company. And that should be your major focus, that 10 hours of time. And you can do a calculation how much money can you make if you use that in the right direction. Okay. And I can tell you, in real estate here, you can make at least $10,000 in that 10 hours using it in the right direction. Because if you do 5 appointments, out of 5 appointments, 1 convert, and that gives you a sale at least $10,000, maybe more. And that's the way you do your calculation, and then you say, you know what, time to hire an assistant. Okay. Now, how to hire an assistant? Now, you have 2 ways. One is local, one is virtual. I'll suggest you to go virtual first, especially the COVID, opened up this opportunity for us to hire virtual assistant. You can post it on Instagram, you can post it on the Facebook and on any other social media, and you can boost in different countries. It's very cheap. I do have a whole strategy plan. If you make a comment, strategy, I know with you, and then you can DM, you can comment and then DM me your email address. I can email you the whole strategy. How can you hire directly? So that's the way they are more loyal to you. You are loyal to them, and you can train them exactly what you do with your team members. So you don't have to depend on another agency or somebody else. So you hire your direct. Is affordable for you. Is good for them. They're also making more money. Nobody in the middle, making money. And also it's a team. It's a team outside of the country for you. So you do that. You definitely do the DISC profile test. You can go to TonyRobbins.com/DISC. That gives you the personality, you're looking for particular job. And then, I'll have another video on the DISC profile. If you also like to have a video on DISC profile, comment me, DISC profile. Okay. And then I can do that video also. But in general, the DISC, DISC, D is driver, mean assertive. I is influential attitude, means like they talk a lot. They're good. They're good for the sales. And then S is the stability. Then they're stable. They are a great team player. And then C is cautious. So if you need a marketing person, has to be a little bit high C. So you do the DISC profile test, and also you make sure that they have a long-term vision, with your company, with your business. So you can train fully, and you can and that person also will have a stability of the job with your company. Okay. So you do that, and then a lot of time I get this objection that I cannot train them. I don't have time to train them. Okay. So you don't train everything in one day or 1 week. You always train a little. You train 30 minutes, let them do it, let them digest it, and then do another 30-minute training, and that's the way you go. Definitely you have to evaluate, because sometimes when you're hiring somebody from another country, there's a cultural difference. They don't know certain exact business, so you have to train them on that. They're very smart, educated people, so they will learn faster. But it's your job to teach them, how the market works, in your country. And that's the way you hire and you train and you go slow. And then every week you do an analysis together. Say what went well, what didn't, and where is the room for improvement. What can we do together better to make the sale happen, or make the marketing, whatever, posting or whatever you're doing, the marketing goal, that happens. So that you have to do. Now, another challenge I see many times of the self-employed people is is the registrant, of delegation, because they did it, the business is their baby, so they don't want to delegate, or even though they delegate, they start to micromanage. So my suggestion is start delegating. What are the things you're going to delegate? I'm going to go through that now. Also, stop micromanaging. Give the leadership control to for that particular job, particular task, to your employee, to your staff, to your admin. Okay, and that's the way they can go full on. They will be so free to work on that. Okay, now how do you know what to delegate? So first of all, you take a blank paper, you make a line in the middle. This side will be income producing activity for you, and then this side will be non-income producing activity. And then all the things you do, you just put them either that's a something is close to money, something is just service related, something else, or marketing or admin, and you put that. And out of all this, once you have like a list, you're going to have definitely 20 here, 20 here, or maybe more. Okay, once you do that, then you check which one, like you're doing it but you don't like that much. Okay, you check, so that means you don't like it. Okay, and then they are not also close to money, so you go to the one not close to money and check the one you don't like but you had to do because nobody else here, so you have to support your business, so you check that. So now you have a few items that you can delegate. Then you see you like certain things but they really don't make you money, like it's not close to money. Like you like to design a postcard, for example, that takes you 2 hours, but really, like, you want to spend that 2 hours, or you want somebody else to do it. And initially, like, you do the quality control check for 10 minutes, so your 2 hours becomes 10 minutes for you, so you have an hour and 15 minutes available to do the sales. And so that's what you want to do. Like, then you have a whole list of things to give. So before when you hire, you have the list to delegate. Because remember, our coach Tom Ferry always say that you don't hire the person, you hire the position, because you have to create the position. Then you have to go through the, all the applicant who comes, their personality, what kind of business, what kind of job they did before, what kind of skill they have, and then you fit them on the position. And that's what you want to do, because you create a position and then fit that person over there. The next thing is you have to be very, very careful. One is the quality of the job, like if that person is doing it or not, but otherwise you're going to be very disappointed. And it happens, you don't get the perfect person or the person right fit for the position right away. I can tell you, like, when I hired my first assistant in 2012, from then I had to hire four of them, and then things happened, and then I got the best person, or best multiple person for the team, after few hire. And that's what I got, the best people for the team. They are all in with me, they're aligned to the vision, they want to grow with the business, with me, with my vision, with the business vision. Their vision is aligned, but it takes time. But you have to keep hiring. It doesn't work, you have to fire, okay, quickly. Now, what you need to do to make sure that there's a quality workflow going on for your business, productive, is weekly accountability. Weekly accountability is like when you decide on something and you implement the task you're given, you have your assistant report back to you, certain things on a daily basis, certain things on a weekly basis. That, okay, this week this thing happened, these are the opportunity, these are the challenges, and whatever the admin comes. And you always want to ask the admin for what solution he or she thinks, because you don't want to give the solution, because once you give them the solution for everything, then it's on you, and because you want to give them the leadership. Okay, so you want them to think, like, what can be better for that particular task. And then, of course, you got to have a discussion and you help them to decide on the best one. But you always want to give them that freedom of thinking, freedom of leadership on that. Now let's talk about ROI, the return on the investment. To hire for an admin position or marketing position or sales position, you have to make sure that you have a return on investment somehow. Your marketing person need to generate lead for your business so that you get a return on investment. Do enough marketing, smart marketing, so you get lead come, not only just lead, also you have enough follower, your branding goes bigger, and so you have to see that. Okay. On your admin side, you can always involve your admin to call your sphere of influence. You can introduce your sphere of influence, your past client about, okay, this is my executive assistant, so they know. So many times you don't have to make the call. Your admin can make the call and give them certain updates, certain news, and then he or she can help you convert some leads. So, or is sales or anything. So return on investment should be there. Now, if you don't have an assistant and you're hiring your first assistant, what you have to do is hire somebody for part-time, like 5 hours a day, 25 hours a week, and give the task list the way I told you to. We made it earlier in this video, and then see how that goes. If it goes good, and maybe you have that assistant work in the morning time, because that's the time you're going to have time to maybe train a little bit, and then maybe if you're in a sales business, maybe in the afternoon you're out on the road or with the appointments or meeting people, so you want to have the assistant to work when you are on the desk making phone calls, doing your sales calls, and so you can do like a 9 to 1, okay, or 9 to 2, whatever, 8 to 1, 5 hours, okay. So you do that, you train them a little bit, not to waste so much time on the training, and then see how it goes. If he or she is doing a good job, give more, keep full time, and then you grow from there. So in closing, I'm going to tell you a couple of things, the challenges, and how we can overcome that. Number one thing, you cannot afford not to have an assistant, because you are losing money you don't even know about it. That is for sure, because you are doing admin work, but you are not doing the sales job you could do, make more money that time, okay? That's number one. Number two, you may have a thinking in your head that I am the best on everything I do, but that is not true. When you hire your assistant, and you'll see they're doing a way better job certain things. They're maybe, they're better on certain phone calls. They're better on certain dialogue. They're better on certain marketing activities. They're better on some research and get the subject for your video or marketing. So, or even any analysis for your business. So you will find certain things that are better, because you want different smart people in your team. Not for you to be smarter in everything. You cannot be smart in everything. That's impossible. If you're thinking that, take it out of your head, And your job as a business owner is to work on what you love, and that makes you the most money for your business. And most of the time is meeting with the people, converting the lead, and servicing. Servicing means not the file or product, servicing the client, making some phone call, nurture them, and so. And that is the most important thing to create a sustainable business. And that's what you are great for. Because remember, most of us who started doing a business, we are artists. Because artist means we want to create. That's the reason we are here. We are not operator. But then we get stuck in the operation because the business needs it. We are not operator. We are artist. Respect your artistic nature of creating a business, and that's I'll suggest you to start and take it forward. Let me know what you think about it. If you need any other advice, if you have any other question, any other challenges about hiring your first assistant, or grow from there, or maybe you had some failures hiring assistant before, I can definitely talk to you on that. So make a comment here. Let me know the challenges you had in the past, or challenges you having now with your assistant, or not hiring the assistant, it's preventing you hiring the assistant. We can definitely talk. I can get on a Zoom call. I'm here to help you guys. So let me know. Thanks for watching. If you like this kind of content, let me know also. Like this video. The like button is right here. You can also subscribe. I don't mind. So I like to help you. Thanks for watching again. Always all the best. Let's make this year the best year ever. Okay. Take care. Bye.